is, of course, no ordinary car. It's a Unimog, a Mercedes off-roader that is almost as unknown as the Navy Special Forces that use them.
This is the top-of-the-range U500, which they use for specialist haulage in conditions that would leave a 4x4 absolutely floundering, and where a tractor would make you it'd make you a sitting duck.
It costs around £90,000. Not bad for something that looks like a pit bull crossed with a lorry. About 100 a year get sold in the UK, and it's not just to the military. Utility companies buy the most, and they're famed for being indestructible and incredibly reliable. Useful qualities when you're working in the middle of nowhere, or trying to round up Al-Qaeda before tea.
Most of the customers for special equipment like this tend to offer suggestions for improvements they'd like to make, but the SBS, they basically just turned around and said, we'd like to buy some more. To figure out why the Special Boat Service love these things so much, I want to take the same sort of driving lesson as they do. And for that, I need a man called Derek.
Derek Owen is the technical guru for Unimog in the UK, and he's going to teach me, just like he teaches the SBS.
Hello, Tom.
Good morning. I'm reporting for my driving lesson, sir. It's quite a way up, Derek. OK, so Derek, what are the main controls?
Right, now, Tom, this is the steering wheel.
Yeah, no, we can skip that.
Right, OK, we'll move on.
We've got 16 forward and 14 reverse.
We have with this gearbox 8 on the selector here, and then we can actually engage a low range here. They're what we call working gears.
OK, I know this has got a straight 6 engine, so it's a 286 brake horsepower, which is the same as a BMW 635D, and it's got 1,120 newton metres of torque, which is the same as a Planet.
Yeah, with this type of vehicle, it's torque that's much more important in many ways than horsepower.
I think we should see how much that torque counts. Right, I'm going to start her up, OK? Let's go.
Right, for this hill we want to be in 3rd gear and then drive it up.
I don't think I can walk up this, Derek. Oh, crikey! So this is really muddy and quite steep. I can't see anything now, I'm just looking at sky. That's like driving a tank!
Right, this is a really steep drop here, and we need to be in 2nd gear.
There's 2nd.
With the diff locks in, because it's as important to have the diff locks in going down.
Oh, Christ. Just come off the pedals.
You'll need to cover the brake and brake it a little bit as well as we go down.
OK. Ooh, I'm just hanging out the seatbelts here. Yeah. That's so odd.
A little bit of slip there, but...
A little bit? It's moving all over the place.
Doing a fairly sharp left here,
So far, so good. But the Unimog has some party tricks that set it apart. Where most 4x4s would drown, the Unimog wades. And when things get slippy, it can rely on something other than its permanent 4-wheel drive for traction.
What does that button do?
Right, this Unimog's got a central tyre inflation system which allows us to raise and lower the tyre pressures to suit the ground conditions on the move.
Okay.
So by pushing that button in the up position, we're putting the pressures up, and then we can lower the pressures by putting the switch.
So what would you use that for then?
In really wet conditions, you can increase traction by as much as 30% by lowering the pressures to something like 1.5 bar.
It's undeniably talented off-road, and you can see why the Special Forces like them. But the real reason a Unimog is unique is that this heavy-duty 12-ton off-roader is also capable of 55 miles an hour on road. Although a version has just shown up on our radar that does 65 miles an hour. And we've tracked it down.
I'm excited. This is the maddest thing we've ever had in the car park. This is the £160,000 Mercedes-Benz Unimog Black Edition, fettled by Brabus. This is the biggest rollover hoop I've ever seen. It's got upswept exhaust, and inside it's all leather and carbon fibre, and it's got the command system from Mercedes S-Class. It rocks.
It does work, but what is it for?
Well, the brochure says special occasions, but unsurprisingly, it's originally made for people in the Gulf region, where, you know, a Rolls-Royce Phantom's 10 a penny and a Hummer's just not hard enough, and also where there aren't enough cars that can carry 4 tonnes at 65 miles an hour off-road.